We begin with breaking news. 1 year and 8 days after a 2-year toddler made national headlines after being reported missing, a break in the case. The father of Malik Drummond, 43-year-old Jeffrey Clifton, arrested and now facing charges of capital murder and abuse of a corpse. Good evening, I'm Kevin Kelly.
I'm Donna Terrell. The announcement made earlier today by Searcy Police. Who also said this afternoon, that remains found in a rural part of Jackson County are believed to be those of Malik Drummond. We have team coverage tonight. Fox 16's Isabella Moeller has reaction from those in the neighborhood where Malik went missing.
But first, we begin with Ken Buffa live at the Searcy Police Station with more on how investigators were finally able to crack this case. Ken?
Well, Kevin, Donna, police say they asked that father to come here to the station to speak with detectives, something he's done time and time again. But this time it was different. They served him 2 warrants, and now he's facing capital murder charges.
Some evidence has been developed through the course of the investigation to lead us to Malik Drummond's father.
Sergeant Stephen Hernandez, along with multiple agencies, have been working to find Malik Drummond. Back in 2014, the 2-year-old boy reportedly wandered away from his father's home in Searcy. Hundreds of volunteers spent days looking for the toddler, Malik's dad included.
That he was actually out searching for Malik.
Early morning Tuesday, police say 43-year-old Jeffrey Clifton was contacted.
Detectives actually called him to have him come up here, and they spoke with him, and then it was sometime just shortly before midnight he was served with 2 warrants, one being the capital murder charge and then the other being the abuse of the corpse.
FBI investigators came. I even helped them come down there like underneath the house.
This neighbor describes how officials combed the area,
Even in storage units and everything.
Authorities say the outpouring of volunteers helped in the search.
It allowed our investigators to not focus their time on a search, but to focus their time on a criminal investigation.
An investigation police now say became criminal hours after the boy went missing.
It was fairly quick into the process to where it went from a missing child to a criminal investigation.
Police say more information is expected as this investigation, hundreds of people in the making, continues.
Just because we've made an arrest on Mr. Clifton doesn't mean by any means that we're done with the investigation.
In fact, this investigation is just getting started. Police say just a little while ago they found remains, skeletal remains in Jackson County they feel could be Malik Drummond's. Right now they're trying to identify those remains. As for Clifton, his next court date is set for January 5th. We're live in Searcy. Ken Buffa, Fox 16 News. Back to you.
Well, Ken, one has to wonder how long have police been watching the father of Malik, because obviously they interviewed him a year ago when Malik went missing. So you have to wonder, what was the catalyst that drew them to Mr. Clifton?
And that's one of the first questions I asked, but they are being very tight-lipped about this investigation because they say it's active. There could be more pending charges and other arrests even in this investigation. And as for those remains, I asked, well, did the father tell you where they were, if he knew where they were? They said they couldn't tell us, but they did say that those remains, those skeletal remains, were found at the edge of a field in Jackson County. And just to give you an idea of why those hundreds of people could not find this body, it's because Jackson County is about an hour away from Searcy. So much more details will be released. We just have to give the police time, they say.
Okay, all right. Ken Buffa and Searcy. Ken, thank you.
Those who live in Searcy shocked and relieved at this hour. The break in the case.